Hey, an off-the-cuff video today with no script really. I just wanted to sort of debunk the sort of argument or debate over whether video games are art or not. And it's an invalid question, and the fact that a lot of people, like fellow people who would consider themselves a part of the broader gaming community TM, that we're even engaging with that question when people say that, I think it's just a waste of energy and a waste of time. It's an invalid question. The only valid question really should be, what is the strengths of each medium of art, and what is your personal favorite, perhaps? But to say that it's not is just foolish. How could you say that something that involves 3D artists, concept artists, musicians who we all agree are artists, writers who we all agree are artists, I mean, oh my god, voice actors who most of us would agree are artists as well, and in some games you even have motion capture, so physical actors, as well as even in some games like the original Fallout, you have clay artists as well, clay sculptors. And so all of these people are coming together to make a product for entertainment and to tell a story. They're not going together to like feed starving people or something. This is something for fun, for entertainment, for leisure. How could we say that all those people coming together to make something creatively for their own enjoyment, partially because they could choose to be financed in other careers, right? This industry was made for a reason, because not only did people want the games, but other people wanted to make the games. How could we say that's not art because people can interact with it at their homes on a screen and coders got involved? Like, that makes it no longer art? No, that's absolute BS. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, anything that any other medium can do, video games can do. All the strengths of music that are unique to music and just the audio like medium in itself can be shown and like sounded through, played with in video games. Likewise, for visual art, if you've seen any concept art or watched visual game worlds play out in front of you, very artistic looking ones especially, they can do all the same things and cover a lot of the same strengths, in fact the exact same strengths, as visual art painting. Even architecture and sculpture can be mimicked and even refined and extended in certain aspects in gaming. So to say that gaming is not art is absolutely asinine. It clearly is. It's a bunch of artists getting together, making something in a medium that has the strength of all other forms of art, or at least the potential to touch on all of those combined, audibly, physically, visually. It's an absolute foolish debate. So the fact that people get up in arms, like this one person at the recent awards, I forgot what the awards are even called, said something about, oh, I'm glad I got drumsticks and a guitar instead of a video games, and like George R. R. Martin back in the day was like, oh, I don't consider video games art. And it's just, you just roll your eyes at it. You shouldn't even engage or dignify such a foolish opinion with a response, quite frankly. And not only that, but I mean, especially with something that's such an analogous term as art, which is, by many people's definition and my own as well, primarily in the eye of the beholder rather than by the community or your surroundings, right? Other people are not going to define art for you. You are going to define art for you. And I know people are going to say we live in a society and all that, but that's, society can be wrong. Like we've corrected ourselves multiple times in history for having inaccurate information. And to argue that this project of so many artists coming together to do what is clearly an artsy thing isn't art, it's just foolish. And to even engage with the question is just disrespectful of our own time. We shouldn't waste any energy even engaging with the question or trying to argue down with it. If anybody says that, we should just ignore them for being ridiculous, because it's ridiculous. I mean, oh gosh, let's go into one small article for an example. It's an old article, but it's a great sort of showcase for the template of people that tend to have this view. So I encourage you to read the article and pause this video before I continue on, but assuming you've already read the article, and it takes like 5 minutes, trust me, it won't be very long. It's a short article. I just wanted to highlight a few particular quotes in this that I just want to rip apart, quite frankly. So this one portion talking about a work of art being one person's reaction to life, any Any definition of art that robs it of this inner response by a human creator is a worthless definition, quote unquote. Art may be made with a paintbrush or selected as a ready-made, but it has to be an act of personal imagination, which is not true. There are multiple pieces of art throughout human history that have taken a collaborative effort, be it paintings themselves, or like cathedrals that have taken generations to build, which the architecture is objectively art, to theater performances, to movies. All of these things take multiple people, and many of them, even when there is a creative lead, we could point to multiple examples in which there were multiple creative leads sharing equal amounts of authority. So to say it has to be from one person's vision, one person's imagination is like, I don't know, a false appeal to like great man theory somehow in like art, but that clearly doesn't make sense as stated and pointed out here. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And then to say they're more like playgrounds where it's just created by the interaction between a player and a program. Yeah, because, you know, art definitely has nothing to do with the experience of the viewer and the creator of the piece of art. Definitely not. Nope, definitely no analogies there. And saying that players cannot claim to impose a personal vision of life on the game is just wrong. Like, no matter what people interact with, to say that they can't impose a personal vision on it is inherently false in any point of life, because we're all subject to our own conscious interpretation of the world, right? If somebody really decides that spaghetti means to them something religious, then damn it, it's eventually going to mean that. And likewise, I mean, for these open sandbox games, like say Minecraft, for example, do you really mean to tell me that I cannot impose a personal vision of my life when I am making an entire like medieval castle and kingdom designed around a certain way? Clearly, that's me doing that. And then also saying, well, the creator of the game engine or the game has ceded that responsibility, therefore no one owns the game, so no one's an artist and therefore no work of art. Absolute bullshit. If you've ever played a linear game, you absolutely know that the creator has not ceded the responsibility of imposing the personal vision or story or any of that. That's just absolute shenanigans. And not only that, but art doesn't have to be owned. To imply that ownership and art are synonymous is foolish. Alright, that's gonna do it for today. Sort of a chaotic, just random all over the place type of video, even more so than normal for me. Hope you all enjoyed it though. And yeah, have a good one. Love you all, and take care.